What is going on, guys? It's Cameron, and today we're going to be reviewing Spider-Man 2099 issue 6. So going off the front cover, you can tell that Spider-Man is trying to protect this egg, and this issue actually revolves around this egg. It's like a cocoon, and it's actually got someone inside it. And of course, someone is after it. Now, in the previous issue, we saw Spider-Man team up with Captain America from the year 2099, and the villain of the issue actually escaped. Now, I can't remember his name right now, but I'm sure I'll remember it right after this video, which is what always happens. But we're not going to be following that character in this issue. We're actually going to be kind of sidelining it and going on to a completely new story, which is actually going to entail an Inhuman. So I think that's enough talking. Let's get into this review and let's get on into this issue. Alright, so jumping into the issue, we've got this straight up storyline thrown in our faces, and it revolves around this egg. It's been given to them by an Inhuman, and of course that means that they're kind of dealing with something that they don't fully understand. And of course this is Parker Industries. Now, something that I love about the Spider-Man 2099 comics is Peter Parker kind of is in the comics, but he kind of pops in and out because he is the boss of Parker Industries. And so I love how he kind of gives like this guidance to the other characters in the comic without actually interfering with anything about the comic. It's actually pretty weird, but it's awesome at the same time. Okay, so now that I can talk about what's pretty much going on in this comic, now that you've seen Dr. Rhonda, or whatever she's called, being taken in by this Inhuman egg, I can tell you that that's pretty much what the comic revolves around. It's about getting her out of there. Now, of course, we can't forget about Roberta, aka Captain America of the year 2099, and basically what's happened with her. And we actually figured out in the previous issue, Captain America's alter ego literally does not remember anything about being Captain America. If she sees the Captain America costume, she physically looks straight through it. She cannot see anything to do with Captain America. And honestly, I have a feeling that maybe Miguel O'Hara, aka Spider-Man, is going to affect that. I have a feeling that he's probably going to tell Roberta that she is Captain America, because right now he can't believe that she doesn't know that she's like a 7-foot Captain America super soldier. And I feel like that he's going to influence something to do with Roberta and Captain America that's going to change them forever. I especially love the reaction from Miguel when he finds out that Rhonda has been put in this Inhuman egg. He literally freaks out and gets there as fast as he can. And it's almost like a situation that he cannot believe, and it's just so awesome to see him get in there and try and sort it out. Now, to make things worse, this guy just randomly appears out of nowhere, and he is huge. Now, we don't actually figure out who this guy actually is. He kind of looks familiar, but we don't know his name. And his mission is to take this Inhuman egg, and when the person hatches from the egg, it is his decision whether they live or die, depending on how good their powers are, etc. And in case any of you guys don't actually get the gist of what's going down, basically, the egg captured Rhonda because she has an Inhuman gene in her body, meaning that she kind of has powers without her actually knowing it, and the egg is going to bring out that Inhuman gene within her. Anyway, something that I love about this villain, this guy that's just randomly appeared, he literally just appears in front of everybody and says, "You can leave now." And I love that authority that he carries there, kind of ordering them to go, almost as if it's not any of these guys' business, because he obviously knows what's happening, he knows what he's doing. Now, one thing that I want to point out is that this guy knows Spider-Man, he knows who Spider-Man is, and he's talking to him almost as if Spider-Man is some kind of legend in the history books. Now, it's not really clarified whether he thinks that he's Spider-Man Peter Parker or whether he thinks that he's Spider-Man 2099, but I'm assuming just from the way he's saying it, that this villain is from the future, because he seems to know who Spider-Man is, and he seems to be talking about him as if he knows his history. Like he joined the Avengers, he led his own life, he didn't follow anybody else's orders, he kind of just led the way himself. And I think one of the greatest things in this comic was the part where he shot him with a weapon that was supposed to obliterate him off the face of the earth, and Spider-Man 2099 survived it, and the look on this guy's face was phenomenal. It really felt like, for once, this guy didn't really know what he was dealing with, because he comes in here as if he's all big and mighty, and then when Spider-Man survives this thing, it's the first time where you see this villain actually feel vulnerable, and that's just awesome. So coming up to the final few pages, Spider-Man begins to take up the upper hand, he begins to kind of push this thing into this villain, and honestly, my favourite part of this comic in terms of humour had me laughing out loud when they teleported to what looked like hell, and the reaction from Spider-Man was, "Holy shit!" Sorry, I'm just recuperating myself, let me calm down again. But it was just awesome, like, the reaction from Spider-Man, it really felt like Spider-Man was in absolute disbelief. I mean, it was brilliant, it really excited me for the comic. And I found it so funny, just that general reaction from Spider-Man, because Spider-Man, you kind of see him as this guy who can't really be surprised by anything too much, but when he teleported from Earth to this like hell planet or whatever he's on, it completely just took the words out of his mouth. It was amazing, especially because it was so sudden as well. Now, coming up to the final page and a half of this comic, Spider-Man gets to experience the birth of a brand new Inhuman, hatching from this egg, and obviously that's Rhonda in there, so that's kind of like, her life is going to change drastically, and it must be such a rare thing to experience an Inhuman being born, and so it's almost like a pivotal moment in Spider-Man's life right now. And as you can see on screen, when she hatched out of this egg, she actually reminded me of Phoenix out of the X-Men, but I have a feeling that she's going to be one of the most powerful Inhumans ever. For some reason, I just feel like that's going to be the case, and I don't necessarily think she's going to be a character that's just thrown away. I feel like she's going to be something that's going to change the comics, not just for this series, but maybe tie into the Amazing Spider-Man comics or the Spider-Man Miles Morales comics or something like that. At least the next few issues hopefully will revolve around her, because I want to know what's going on with her. I want to know how her life is going to change and who the hell this villain is as well. But that is it for this issue, guys. That is it for Spider-Man 2099 issue 6. What did you think? Let me know in the comment section below. I loved this issue. I mean, I freaked out earlier. I apologize for that. If you was wearing headphones, I am extremely sorry. Please forgive me for that. But I am genuinely going to give this issue a 9 out of 10 because when Spider-Man teleported, that just made the comic for me. I loved his reaction, and the way this villain just came into this comic without even introducing himself properly. He literally just made a place in this comic, took the object of the story, and took us to a hell planet, and it all got a little bit crazy. So we can only wait and see how all of this craziness turns out. But until then, guys, go to the links in the description to follow me on Twitter, because I will be giving away digital codes for multiple comics. I mean, I've got quite a lot of codes here, and I forgot to do a giveaway for them, so I'm going to give them away on Twitter randomly. So follow me on there to have a chance of redeeming those. And you can also follow me on my Facebook page to stay up to date on all the latest comic book news and updates. And I don't know about you guys, but have you seen the trailer for the next episode of the Flash TV series? Oh my days. I'm going to link it in the description because it's awesome. I cannot wait. But in the meantime, guys, hit the subscribe button, hit the like button on this video if you liked it, and I will see you all later.